is an extract of the WhatsApps that we sourced from the Matlanga Commission. These are extracts from their WhatsApp bundle. And on page 78, at the bottom, there appears to be, these are WhatsApp from Mchunu. The bottom there, it seems to be a WhatsApp addressed to you. And then on page 78, this appears to be addressed to you. Minister, I'm going to get the case number and this judgment for you. Now we got something proven by the court. This is the matter now which either Sabia or the minister can charge Kumalo and apply Rule 9 of the disciplinary hearing. It took the Constitutional Court to release a man who was sentenced to life imprisonment through a forced Section 204 confession. Imagine Comrade Senzo, after 30 years of democracy, having this kind of policing. The good thing is now that there is not, these are not allegations, but a court judgment. These are apparently signal messages. Then on the following page, 80, there's a WhatsApp, Sunday the 26th. Morning, Minister. I'm in Durban and can confirm that they got nothing on Phoenix Saga, and our contact says they couldn't even go to any bank. By the way, the girl is here also. Tomorrow we are signing the practice notes on the Northwest PEC matter for the SCA in PTA with Senior Counsel. The matter will be a month from tomorrow. Then it's something about a briefing. Any other? Yeah. So Minister, those appear to be addressed to you and your comment, please.
Yes. Number one, I think these two messages they were sent to me coming from Mchunu, if I have some recollection of them. Now, I wouldn't have responded to both, and I think I never responded to both, simply because I didn't quite understand what he was referring to in the first one, talking about judgment and all of those. And it wasn't, or it wouldn't have been for the first time that Mchunu would send to you something that you wouldn't understand unless you sat down. And so he sent that, and I looked at that, and I didn't have quite a good understanding of what he was talking about. But I didn't inquire, I didn't follow up. I took it as one of the messages that he would send to you, and you would know what they are referring to. On the second one, although you have made them disappear, first message, I do remember, well, that those messages that he sent to me, I think I do have a recollection of me receiving them. But I didn't know what he was referring to in those messages either. If you could play them again, just to see message 1, 2, 3, I had no collection of what he was talking about. And I don't think I went back to him to inquire, what is it? What is this thing that you are talking about? It's the same as the message that was referred to by General Mkhonazi of Mchunu, talking about me arriving in Lusikisiki, because I had not informed Mchunu, and I don't think there's any staff member who had informed him. And when General Mkhonazi made mention of this, I thought that somewhere Brown Mkhotsi must have been sitting at home, looking at TV, seeing me alighting from the car because it was played live. And he types a message to General Mkhwana to say, Minister is arriving, and General Mkhwana thinks that he is in Lusikisiki. I don't remember whatsoever Mkhotsi seeing him in Lusikisiki, and I wouldn't have known what he was there for. But TV, I mean, can be played, and we can research that to see if there was any face of. It was a very serious matter, and they would have been seen somewhere by somebody that Ufunan Mkhotsila and so on. So he must have been typing this thing sitting at home somewhere. Minister is arriving, which was seen by everybody in the public. And a notice had been given the previous day that I would be in Lusikisiki, and it went to public. And so he must have been doing, because I've sort of concluded afterwards that he's quite a bit crafty in somehow. In
Sorry,
what he's
Minister,
doing.
sorry to interrupt you. I need to just move a bit. So you confirmed that you did get this message from
if I
Mkhotsi?
recall very well,
Yeah.
to the
Okay.
best of my ability,
Do you have Mkhotsi's number on your phone?
Yes, I do.
So when he messaged you, you would.
Yes, I would
You-
see
you
that
would- you would
it's
see.
Mkhotsi. This message comes from
Yeah.
Mkhotsi, and
Now-
I think
now-
I do remember these ones, but I didn't
This
know.
is
what-
this is. I'm not so clued up about this, but this is apparently on Signal.
Pardon?
This is on Signal.
And WhatsApp, he would send those
Yeah.
messages.
So, what is, and for your comment, but the one message that you see at the bottom of page 78 of EB7 is a message that is sent on the 31st of December at, is that 11:18 or 18:48?
That's 11:18. That's,
Yeah, it seems to be at 11:18 that you received a message. And of course, that's the same day on which you issued the directive on the 31st of December 2024. Is that a coincidence? Is there anything that one can read into that? That you were in Signal or WhatsApp contact with Mkhotsi on the 31st of December 2024 when you issued the directive?
Where is that message? On the 31st.
There isn't a message, it's just a, it just shows, well, as I can't go any further than what appears from the WhatsApp.
Where is it?
So maybe my question is this, and you can, if you can also confirm it, that on the 31st of December 2024,
I don't
you received
remember. I don't remember sending any message to Mkhotsi on the 31st, but unless I see it, I don't remember at all. And I think I was quite busy for the longest time on the 31st, writing the directives. I don't think I did, but let me see the message.
All right. So can perhaps then can we move on to Matlala?
Yes, we can, on a note that I don't think I sent a message to Mkhotsi on the 31st. I don't remember at all. I don't remember at all.
It is a,
But we can pass.
it's from him to you.
It's from him.
So it's not
from-
alleged that
to-
you
to
sent
me
him a message.
On the 31st.
Yes.
What was he saying?
I'm not sure whether it's not apparent, Minister, from the whether this is the message that appears on the following page on 79, which I've already read to you about the Constitutional Court judgment that was issued on the 20th of December. I'm not sure whether that's the same message.
Yeah, neither do I remember or have any recollection of him sending me a message on the 31st. I did see some message said to have come from him to me at Madlanga Commission, but I don't want to get closer to that because I just saw it on TV. But I don't remember such a message from him to me on the 31st, nor do I remember what subject he would have been speaking about. Until I get that, I can then have a better comment.
Page is SM 44.
SM 44 and volume 2.
If I can just move on, Minister, to Matlala and his affidavit, which is at SM 44. It's in volume 2. It's an affidavit that is deposed to by Vusimusi Matlala. It's date stamped the 22nd of September of this year, 2025, and it was commissioned by an officer at CMAX on the 22nd of September 2025. So, can I start by asking, how did you obtain this affidavit from a person who is being kept at CMAX? And I think colloquially, we all associate CMAX with high security and persons who are detained there because of its high risk, high security. Would I be correct more or less in that understanding? That CMAX is not just your ordinary prison like a Polsmoor or Drakenstein, it's high security. So how did you obtain this affidavit from him?
I got this affidavit from my lawyers. And they said they had a chat with Matlala's lawyers at their level, in their own time, their own way. And then they gave me documents that they said they received from Matlala's lawyers. How any other thing happened, I don't have the knowledge, but I do know that my lawyers did give me the statement a couple of days or so ago to say they have this kind of a document.
So was the sole purpose of obtaining this affidavit, or procuring an affidavit from Mr. Matlala, that he denies knowing you?
On several occasions since I started preparing, I have been emphasizing to my lawyers that I don't know Matlala. I repeated that and I said to them, my lawyers, I'm not fooling you. I'm not playing any game with you. I am honestly saying to you, I have never met Matlala. I have never seen him in my naked eye. I have never had a talk directly or indirectly with him. And I've been repeating it over and over, and at the same time saying, I know Mkhotsi on the other hand, and how I got to know Mkhotsi, and how he's not my associate. And I think they then took the initiative that they took to inquire on their own and they got this affidavit. And this affidavit, when I read it, it reflects what my understanding is, that I have never met a person. The only time I got to talk more about Matlala, other than coming across the name from newspapers and social platforms, it was on the 20th of December when we started talking to General Masimula about the contract. Then that's when I started talking more about Matlala. Before that, I just come across the name Matlala and the stories about Tembisa and all of that. But I had never heard anything else to talk about Matlala.
Minister, what prompted you, just because you raised the issue of the Swani health contract, what prompted you to make further inquiries about the award of that contract? Because that was done and in fact signed off by the National Commissioner. I think before you became the Minister of Police. The contract, as we know, subsequently it was cancelled after he was already paid, I think a substantial 50 million or 25 million or something like that. So the question is, so what prompted you to make those inquiries which then resulted in the contract being cancelled?
On the
Okay, before you respond, Minister, let me recognize Honorable Malema.
Thanks, Chair. Good morning, Minister and colleagues. The SC is raising a very important point and is leaving it, where the Minister says, I never solicited an affidavit from Matlala. My lawyers are the ones, after listening to me so many times, they went to solicit the affidavit from Matlala. and I wanted the SC to ask as to, are you saying your lawyers acted without an instruction? Because lawyers act on instructions of their clients. And Minister should understand the implications of what he is saying about his lawyers, because they can be reported to LPC, that on their own volition, go to a maximum prison, obtain an affidavit. Is that without his instructions and they are his lawyers? Is that the understanding that the Minister wants to share with us?
Senior Counsel, that is sustained.
Should I refer to Honorable Malema as my junior counsel? I intended to ask about that. I'm mindful also of my 2-hour limitation, and I suppose Honorable Malema can perhaps defer that question to Honorable Minister when his turn comes. But you've heard the point,
Yes.
and
Yes.
maybe if you want to respond to Honorable Malema.
My response is, Honorable Malema is quite correct. I did express a wish that if all possible, if it were to be possible, I could wish to get an understanding, even via such a document. They say I get something of a lifestyle from, without naming what is it that I've ever received from Matlala, or what word has ever gone between me and Matlala, but they say he funds my lifestyle. And the strangest thing, Chair, is that I have nothing that I can, they just on their own connect me, and it has never happened. So the express response is that I did express a wish that if I could, I mean, if anything could be possible. So I was wishing, and they carried out that wish.
So it was on your instructions that your lawyers approached Matlala in CMAX to depose to this affidavit.
Yes.
But Minister, if you don't know Matlala at all, you've never met him, that's your evidence?
That's my evidence.
Yes,
And-
so why would you want to obtain an affidavit from a person who has all these allegations against him and that's imprisoned at a high security prison? Why would our Minister of Police want to be associated with a person like that?
The question, or the answer to that question could be another question. Why would the minister not wish to get the word from such a person who people out there are trying so hard to associate with me when I'm not associated with him? Why would the public not be interested in getting to know what he has to say if it were all to be possible? I even want to say that I so wish that the Madanga Commission or even the ad hoc committee could call him to come here to attest or to give a testimony on his own whether he really knows me. So the question is, the response to that is another question. Why would I spare any effort at all, seeing that everybody is interested in making me in connecting me, in trying to connect me with Matlala when I am in fact, not at all connected to him. So I wouldn't spare any moment, and I expressed a wish. But I was on the 20th evidence leader on the 20th of December, answering your question when we took the diversion. In the interest of time, if I may proceed.
Okay. Can I just also for the record, Honourable Chair, Honourable Members, and Minister Mchunu, that when I earlier referenced that the National Commissioner had by then signed the Swanee contract, it was in fact just signed by someone in supply chain, but the contract itself was signed in June of 2024. Now, I had already put this to you, but again, just for the record, I'd indicated that a witness will be called to say that Matlala had a business relationship with you to support your campaign to become the ANC president or deputy president, and had also made some contribution to your, I think for your son.
Yes, to respond to that, I have no knowledge of such. Now, when I saw something like dinner, I saw something like a list of people who are said to have come to Cape Town for dinner, invited supposedly by myself. It almost shocked me because I had never had any discussion with anyone, Brown Mkhotsi to be exact, about any dinner anywhere, about any contribution anywhere, and so on. So I saw all these things for the first time as we do this. As a matter of fact, I have a diary that is included here.
Okay.
To start with, I saw the list when I inquired. What list of guests are these? Because in January 8 dinner, it doesn't happen the way I'm hearing is said to have happened. You don't have your own dinner within dinner. You just go there as invited and you get allocated a table. You don't come with
Just to
your-
assist Minister also perhaps to speed up, I'm sure that honourable members will also ask you questions on this, but you deal also with the January 8 celebrations on page 82 to 88 of your statement. It starts at the bottom. Did Matlala pay for my associates or guests in the January 8 celebrations? You may want to reference that or look at it.
Yes. I'm saying I've never asked, or I didn't ask anyone to organize any dinner whatsoever for me during that period. And to be specific, I never asked Brown Mkhutsi to organize any dinner for me for whatever reason. I didn't. Nor did I compile any list and gave it to anyone to be brought to Cape Town. I never asked anyone to organize accommodation or whatever for me. And as a matter of fact, to start with, my diary was pointing me elsewhere. As a matter of fact, I didn't attend January 8 dinner and rally in Cape Town. I wasn't in Cape Town at all. I left Cape Town on the 8th, and January 8 was going to be on the 11th. Because of, no, first it was just the ordinary program, this one, I think at George. I went there for that particular function. But then this is on the 8th, and then on the 9th, which was Thursday, I departed Cape Town for Durban because there was going to be a memorial service of Professor Bengu, who had passed on. And I'm a relative of him, and I knew him very well. And I was invited to speak at his memorial service at Ishawa. So I flew early in the morning, 6:05, to go to Durban and then proceed to Eshowe. That's where I was on the 9th. And then on the 10th, it was his funeral. So I went to his funeral, which was at Beguzul Hall at the University of Zululand, still in KZN. That is on the 10th. And after that funeral service, I then flew from Richards Bay to Kabeja. That is Nelson Mandela Bay. An ugly incident had taken place there of a young police officer who got brutally murdered. And I went to his funeral because of the emotions that were there, and to be with the family and with his loved ones. And that's how I spent those days. Now, I didn't know any dinner. I didn't organize any dinner. I didn't send any list. And when I saw the list of people called, said to be my invitees, I know of no one here. There's no one that I know that I would have invited to such a dinner. It's impossible. It's impossible to just find yourself a list of people flying and saying they are coming to your dinner. So I deny with evidence that I had anything to do with that dinner sponsored or said to be sponsored by Matlala, nor did I ask him directly or indirectly via any person to organize any dinner for me. If somebody went on to do this, it was not on my behalf, not in my name. I never associated or got involved in such. It was all a surprise to me when all these things unraveled afterwards.
Thank you, Minister. Okay, can we just move on to Mr. Cedric Nkabinde?
Sure, I would be honest.